I'm Jane Hoffman coming to you live on my podcast Wiring. I might be trying Riverside.com next week for a joint podcast where we call in as hosts. Tonight's topic is an Obama deal that was created in 2015 that radically changed how we were going to take course with the Iranian government and modify and correct any problems that we had regarding misunderstandings, financing, and nuclear comprehension. The name of the project was called the Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action, the JCPOA, and I will be having 3 guest callers tonight. The landmark nuclear deal accord was reached with a combination of 5 different major powers, including the United Kingdom, France, England, which is part of the UK, China, and Russia and Germany. All these powers were in complete agreement on how it would be carried out. There would be periodic visits by the Atomic Nuclear Energy Agency to oversee the Iranian nuclear program, and Iran only had 3.67% of enriched uranium at this time in 2015 before Donald Trump scrapped it in 2018. The only purpose for Donald Trump to go to war with Iran is to deflect whatever legal domestic problems he was having at home and try to stage a new Iranian deal to make it look like he had the one-upmanship over Obama from 10 years earlier. In that case, Obama only returned the assets back to Iran at that time that we had frozen since 1979. And Trump is now proposing a $300 billion renewal program in Iran, in which we don't really have any say over who's going to control their government and life. It's just a package to renew all the damage we did. Suzette, hi. This is Jane. Hi, Suzette. Hi, Suzette. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? I think it's for some reason I had my phone on volume, but the phone call came in as mute, so I didn't pick it up right away. So Don called 10 minutes early. I told him to call back, and John's going to call in between 8:45 and 9. So I started the show, and I'm going to recap to you what I've already said, okay? I started it by myself. Here it is. I just want to reiterate that I'm going to turn my volume up. I'm going to reiterate this week that today was the opening of the Barack Obama Presidential Center, and it happened the same week that Trump made this conclusive Iranian deal, in which I will go over the points subsequently, and then you'll comment. It was a deal. It was called the Memorandum of Understanding, as opposed to Obama's Iran deal called the Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action, JCPOA, in which back 10 years ago, that when Obama made the deal, he made it in conjoining with 5 world powers: the U.S., the United Kingdom, France, China, Russia, and Germany. In this case, I don't know who drafted the Iranian deal, but there's a lot of provisions for Iran in there, including a $300 billion comprehensive plan to rebuild their country, the ability for them to sell oil on a worldwide scale, which I think they were already doing. The Strait of Hormuz not to be tampered with and to be fully open for 60 days. No specific limits on their nuclear capabilities. In other words, there's no restrictions on what they can and can't do. And also, they returned economic frozen assets that have existed probably since around the time that Trump refroze them in 2018. Have you looked into this at all? Have you looked into the Iranian deal? Can you hear me? Suzette, can you hear me? I'm going to call you back. We're having technical difficulties. I have to call back. Suzette? Well, anyways, Suzette, I'm calling back. It appears that the Trump deal that has been... Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you clearly, and
I know I can barely hear you too.
I called you back because I called you back. Oh, shit. This show is turning into a nuclear phone deal. Hello?
Hello?
I'm here.
Okay, can you hear me?
Perfectly.
Okay, good. What is going on? All of a sudden I could hear you, but I guess you couldn't hear me. And then all of a sudden your volume went down, way down. I mean, it sounded like you were so far away.
I could hear you perfectly the whole time, but I don't think you could hear me.
No, I couldn't. That was totally weird. Okay, we're good now.
So I'm going to let you do the talking until John and Don call in. What is your opinion of A, the Obama Center opening, and B, Trump's proposed memorandum of understanding with Iran?
Well, I know that as far as a memorandum of understanding, what we can't hold on to their money forever because it's their money. So we've got to at some point release that.
Right.
The other countries that are involved in this, they're all going to contribute to do the rebuilding. So it's not just coming from the U.S. We're not financing that entire thing. Also, there's going to be certain stages. So when Iran does something, then we'll begin the rebuilding that part of our end of the deal, and then once they do something else, then we'll continue. And that's kind of how construction proposals work. You get paid after you do a certain portion of the building, and then they do the work, and then you get more.
And where do you think the contractors will come from? Are we sending private contractors over there like Halliburton?
I think that's going to be worked out. I don't know about if we're sending it. It's going to be countries, people, our people, and so I think it's going to be a combination of all. I didn't read the details on that, but I'm just speculating on that and how that's going to work out. I imagine, we're going to have people in order to benefit, from that. We're going to have to send people over there to do that. building and stuff. So hopefully there'll be bids so that we can be competitive in that, so we're not iced out completely. But again, like I said, I'm just speculating on that. But I can see Trump doing something like that because he's a builder, and so.
I do have what I have an outline question. When I was reading through the MOU, it's called the MOU for Trump. There's a lot. Did you know that Iran hit like well over 20 to 50 United States targets in many different parts of the Middle East? And
Yes,
they caused destruction too, just as we caused destruction.
Yes. I know that there are a lot of Middle Eastern countries involved with that MOM, which I thought was interesting.
Yeah, I think that I don't like John glosses over a lot of things. Like just because we took out their recent Khomeini, it's Khomeini with an A, not an O. I mean, that's not something to really be proud of, even if they were an oppressive country. And he just glosses over the fact that that Iran is a country to be toyed with. That, like, basically, we went over there from February 28th until now, which is practically 4 to 5 months, and we didn't really leave with much more than we started. In fact, all right, Don's calling, and I'll let him in. Okay.
Okay.
Just a minute.
Okie
His call dropped, so he has to call back. I don't know I'll call him, okay?
Okay.
This is so goofy. Okay, hold on. He'll be there in a sec. I don't know. I don't know who tried to call. I thought it must be Don again. Okay, here he is. Don, you're on the air. You're on the air, Don. Suzette and I are discussing. First, we will be discussing about the Obama opening ceremony, but we're talking about Iran right now. Okay, happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Thank you. I'm just on outside.
Are you 70, 71, or 72?
71.
Really?
No, I was born in 1955.
Oh my gosh. No, I'm just kidding.
No.
You're 10 years younger than Bill Clinton and Donald Trump. Well, we're talking about the Iran deal, and basically it looks pretty lucrative for Iran. That
depends on if we give them 300 billion.
Are we really going to give them 300 billion? And is that going to be more expensive than rebuilding our own military?
Yes, it's their money.
It's not all their money.
Yes, it is. We promised to tell them when we took it that put it on the sanctions a couple sanctions ago.
Really?
That's where
Obama gave them 400 million about 9 years ago.
And that was part of the deal.
Well, Trump ended the deal in 2018. It was called the Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action, JCPOA.
Trump is because he changed his mind again. Taco, Trump always changes.
Okay, I have a question for you guys. Do you think he staged this whole peace reconciliation thing in the middle of Obama's opening of the Center for the President?
It wasn't him, Trump, that basically purposefully called a G20 meeting. It just kind of worked out that way. In my opinion, anyway, it just happened to work out that way because he doesn't know when the deal was actually going to be made. It was basically in Iran's. They had the ball. You know, we've been trying to bring them to the table, and they haven't, you know, wanted to discuss it. So I don't think he could basically make Iran like say, okay, discuss it with us now because we've got a library opening going on.
I heard that. I heard that at the G20 summit, though, that Trump was bad mouthing Obama even there.
Because it would refer to Iran and what was going on. It was, he called pertinent to the discussion that they were having. In his opinion, he had to do that, I guess. I don't know. He just doesn't know when to talk or stop. Sometimes he just talks too much.
One thing that we should table this week is that the Iranian soccer team had to come through Mexico, and then a Somalian soccer judge, which they call football, was turned away at the Atlanta, Georgia airport, and a lot of Black people of color were detained who were supposed to participate in the World Cup this week. And I think that's pretty sad.
Well, considering where we were, you know, things were going and still heated until today, or when the thing was signed, you want to protect your country, and you just don't know who's coming through as far as, okay, they're claimed to be soccer players or football players, and we don't know what's going on, you know, as far as what their intentions are. I mean, they could, which are completely be innocent, and just come here to do their job, which is to play football, or something else. So you just never know. And because, again, the things were heated, you have to really be careful.
Well, I think the Somalian soccer judge, I don't think he in and of himself was a risk. He got 3 types of clearance before he even flew over here. But what I see is that a lot of times the Canadians and Mexicans said, come this way, and then you're not going to have any problems.
It's all about racism.
I know. And I hope a country like Uganda or Tunisia wins the World Cup. I hope a poor country. John's calling in. Just a sec. I'm merging it. Hi, John. You're on the air with Birthday Don and Suzette.
All right. Happy birthday.
Hey, John. Hey, Suzette.
You have almost the same birthday as the greatest president in the history of the world.
I told you I told him everything he knows.
John.
Wow.
Happy birthday.
Donald Trump is not the greatest president in the world. You're way off.
Happy birthday, Mr. President.
You want to hear something weird, though? Both Don and John are Geminis.
Yes.
Gemini's in the house.
So,
Very conflicted.
so usually
Control personality.
men who are Geminis are trouble.
Yes, you are.
Wow. So how's today's, what's the evening subject of this course?
We're talking about Iran discrimination against World Cup soccer players who couldn't come in the country. And we're also talking about the opening of the Obama Presidential Center.
Are you going to go there, Jane?
It's sold out until August. I can't get a pass till August.
How much does it cost?
I don't know, but I am going.
Oh, I know you are.
I only live 7 hours from Chicago.
Oh.
You'll make it.
I will possibly be going in July.
I'm going there as a proud American.
We'll probably be going there in July.
Wild donkeys cannot keep you away, Jane. Wild donkeys.
Are you making a parallel to the Democratic Party?
Would I do something that sinister? Would I make a jackass of myself?
Yes, you have many times. At least Barack Obama doesn't have UFC fights on his presidential lawn.
No, he's just busy wearing his rainbow apron in the kitchen.
Well, I heard something funny on Instagram this week. I heard a gay comedian called Donald Trump gay. He said, "How many men say I want a new ballroom? I want a ballroom for me."
Oh wow!
I thought it was hilarious the way he did it.
Well, you heard the UFC fighter call Michelle a man.
I heard about that. It was ridiculous.
I don't know what that was all about. I mean,
Racism, 100%.
Racism. John Rivers seems to think that. Oh, wow.
She's gonna take him out in the ring herself. So, Suzette, what have you been? I know you were sick with a flu type symptoms, but have you been researching any local news?
Oh, here in California, California's always a news giver.
Tell me about it.
With a governor like ours on a state legislature. Good grief. I don't know. We have a governor that seems to be playing victim to saying Trump is going after him, like weaponizing the DOJ because he wants to keep Gavin out of the presidential race, which, you know, he kept saying that he wasn't running, and then he says that. So it's like, all right, well, there's too many things out there, Gavin, for Trump to be going after you. It's something that should have happened a long time ago, regardless of Trump, just because of the dealings you and your wife have been involved with. And there's...
John said it had something to do with his wife's fundraising.
His wife's fundraising. Then we have things like he's signing for elections executive order saying that at the polls, if they ask for an ID, that it's basically a crime. You know, the polls did when you go to get your ballot.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's like, what are you doing? And then actually going against what was already put in our Constitution for redistricting, and there's just a lot going on under him. But as far as the Obama Library, you said you wanted to talk about that. I'm thinking brutality, what do they call it? As far as his building, I'm looking at it, I'm like, wow.
It is
almost
kind of
looks like the
tall.
LA.
Yeah.
Huh?
It's kind of tall.
It's tall and it's just drab. It looks like the Twin Towers in LA. The prison, it's just concrete. You know, there's not much to it. It just looks like a monument, not a library.
I guess inside there's a lot more fanfare. Like there's a lot more creative, interactive. He said Obama himself said it's not a mausoleum. It's an interactive, like, you know, like going to a library with stuff you can touch and feel.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. But just from the outside, you know, you look at it and you're like, the entire campus is pretty cool. You know, it's got a lot of stuff there and it does look nice, but I just can't get over that building, the actual library part of it. Just something. I do have an announcement for our show. I am going to try creating a show on riverside.com so we can all call in, and if you guys want, your faces can be shown, kind of like the Brady Bunch TV style thing. So I'm going to try that next week because I'm kind of tired of doing it from my cell phone that's almost 2 years old. So we'll try that next. So I do want to go back to the headline news, of course. John, honestly, I don't think Donald Trump made a good deal with Iran, except for
I am happy that it's a peace deal, but it wasn't to our advantage, so to say, seems to say.
There's no way we can keep Israel from bombing Lebanon like they're doing right now. And there's no way the Iranians are going to capitulate to anything that they're saying. They're mocking Trump, laughing at him, and know that they're not going to stop their program, which is why Trump today says, hey, everybody else has nukes. Why can't Iran? He said that. And you people need to understand when Paco talks, people don't really have to listen because he's a motherfucker.
Well, he does change. Bill Maher said that Donald Trump said 38 times we're close to a peace agreement. Between February and now, he said 38 times we're close to a peace agreement. So it is kind of like a Chicken Little riddle.
Okay.
That's why they call him Taco. Trump always chickens out. Always.
So I have a question for you guys. They said that there's going to be a monster like El Nino this year, and that it's already started down in Peru, and it's unseasonably warm there, and it's going to head towards the California coast and cross over. So hopefully a natural disaster will make the news instead of Donald Trump.
Okay.
And I'm not saying it's really a question I have, but it's something to be you guys might have to fear it a little bit because you're kind of on the coast. John is at least. So I'm just saying, besides the Iran deal and the Obama Center reopening, do you think the Obama Center was timely? And how is this going to play out for the November elections?
I'm sorry, say that again about.
How does the Obama Center opening play out for the November election?
Yeah, nothing.
Next subject.
Don, you have background noise.
Yeah, I was wondering about that.
I'm eating dinner.
Okay, well, John Yoder, are you in a public place still? John? Maybe we lost John because he's usually fighting back. No,
It could be.
he muted himself. He's still on the air. Don, why did you say that?
I thought it was interesting how
Jeremy
Obama had gone over Barack Obama's achievements in her speech there at the library, and she had mentioned that he had gotten the award, and I was thinking, okay, but that was just because he got elected. The peace medal. What else did he do for that? How is that an accomplishment?
And who is that person?
Black president. So we bring race into it. It's like, all right, why can't it just be we chose the best candidate for that election?
Well, you do realize that he opened the center on Juneteenth.
That's not an accomplishment. It's what you were born. Can't change those immutable, unimmutable, or mutable characteristics.
He
did the Obamacare. That was kind of a disaster, and that we had to keep subsidizing it, and it should have been being able to take care of itself, so we didn't have to. And then when those subsidies were taken away, it crashed. But we always knew it was going to do that. But Obama had the Health and Human Services woman in her department funding it. Because he needed to keep it afloat. And so we're already so much, into debt, and then that was just draining more, and people got upset, when it was taken away. I just, I don't see that as an accomplishment.
Well, even in this year, a lot of upper middle class people lost that safety provision in their Obamacare contract. Their premiums tripled this year.
Yes, that's because there were no more subsidies going to Obamacare. See, the subsidies are what kept the prices low.
Yeah, in Minnesota, we have a thing called MNsure. So let's say you make around 40 to 45,000 a year. You're not in abject poverty, but you're not poor enough to get county assistance. That means you have to pay between $150 and $180 a month for your monthly health care. And that's reasonable, but not every state has that. So you're right. The biggest problem with Obamacare was they didn't vote for a single payer system. They voted for a private that everybody can still go, choose doctors and health plans, kind of like on a private level, but it didn't allow for guarantees.
Right. So when he was going around saying, if you like your doctor, you can keep your doctor, that wasn't true. It didn't work out that way. And because when you give a system money that they know that they're going to get, which in this case it was the health insurance companies and the hospitals and all of that system there, those prices are going to continue to go up because they're thinking, all right, well, we pretty much have a blank check, And so those prices go up and up and up and up because it's being fed by the government to keep it going. Just like with college got so expensive because of the student loans. You take out student loans, and then the colleges can ask for however much money that they want. And, now you've got students taking out loans. The government's giving those loans, and you got interest payments that have come into it. And it doesn't bring costs down. It makes them go up because the college will ask for it, and the loans will be given. And now students are drowning.
They are, because when I went to college at Mankato State in 1982, it was $600 a semester, and now if you go to a Minnesota State University, it's between $15,000 and $35,000 a year. That's how much it. Yeah. John?
Well, I think the biggest problem, it comes down to what's your philosophy on life. Like if you ask half the people, especially the kids, they'll say every American deserves decent health care, housing, and food. You go, well, that makes sense to me. Well, wait a second. Is that in the Constitution? Free housing, free medical, free education? No, it's not. We're just life, liberty, pursuit of happiness. So the problem is the entitlement. Like I have to have all these things. No, you don't. You have to make those things happen for yourself. If government can help facilitate, that's fine. But here's the problem: when you start getting into government guaranteed contracts, then pretty soon people say, okay, here's the rate. Like you have to go to this school, and our rate is $10,000. And next year it's going to be 15, and next year 20, and you go, well, how can you keep raising the price? Oh, because the government. It's a guaranteed contract. There's no competition on this. So that's the now if you believe you have the right to have free healthcare, free education, free housing, and free lifestyle, then yeah, we're gonna go crazy. But here's the problem: how much of us can live the high life? Can everyone, like when someone says you need free healthcare, okay, I need cancer surgery, I want breast implants, I want new hair, I want them to redo my leg. I could spend thousands on just being a better person, but do I need it? And how much money can I generate? I can't
Usually
afford that. How can everyone else afford it?
For elective surgery, if you're on public assistance, there's not really many choices for elective surgery.
Well, let's work on that one. Okay, so what about? I want blood cholesterol medication. I want something for my sugar. I want something to get me up, something to get me down. I need some pain meds. I need, when you go to the doctor, how many meds are most people on? 5 to 10.
I'm on 4.
I'm not on anything.
I'm on 4.
I have to be on drugs. Go ahead.
I just got hydroxyzine the other day because Walmart's too stressful.
True, and you can pay for that, but the question is, do I have to pay for your?
So I can pop. I'm holding it up right now on the screen. I can pop a pill if work's too stressful.
Wow.
But then I might fall asleep on the stool.
Well, we have a pill for that too.
Well, I
Hurry up.
have a friend who lost his leg and then he cut his finger off while farming. So they are going to take care of that.
Yeah. But most people, when they say, I'm sick, I can't make it to work, well, if you went over there with a gun and said, go to work, they'll be at work. When a person like Suzette says, I can't show up to work, now that is a valid excuse. She cannot get to work, right? That's real illness. But half the people that are on the same, government assistance that Suzette would be on, they don't need it. They're okay. They're going to be all right, but they're lazy or they're spoiled. We're weak. We're a weak country. We're not strong.
I have a friend.
Thank you for admitting that. I've been trying to tell you that. Let's have some weakest leaders of all time.
Okay, well, I have good health care, but I also have 3 health cares. I have Walmart, Health Partners, and Medicare. And I don't know.
You're working, right? You contribute, and that's why you get those
But
benefits.
why am I
That's good.
wasting $202 a month on Medicare Part B? It doesn't do crap for me.
What does Cookie work?
Yes.
No.
He gets free health care through the state of Arizona.
But he's not working, right?
Yes, he works. He sells windows like Don.
Oh wow, I'm impressed.
He goes door to door and sells windows and makes appointments.
Nice, I didn't know that. Does he try to stay at some of the houses that he sells windows?
Suzette, is your health care okay?
Well, I was just told that basically I have to take all the medications that they have prescribed me, even though they make me feel worse when I take them, then make me better. And if I don't, then my health care will get dropped. So
do they do like a blood test
in other words,
to see if you do it?
In other words, you have to take the medications?
Yes. I mean, I didn't have diabetes prior to being paralyzed, and then it just kind of, I guess, happened. I was like borderline, and so they put me on insulin, even though it's just borderline. And today, I'm taking Manjaro, 7.2 units of that, 35 units of Lantus, and then I'm on a sliding scale with Humalog, and then there's another pill that they're giving.
Do you take
and
metformin?
Like, sugar? Huh?
Do you take metformin?
No, I couldn't take that because my stomach just really reacted to that. But I mean, my blood sugar is 170 in the morning when I wake up. It's not that high. And yet, I'm taking all of this, and that's without taking anything, nothing. I just stopped taking it because of all those things, because I just felt shitty.
I can't believe you took Mounjaro.
I'm gonna hang up. I'll call you guys back.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay.
I can't believe you were taking Mounjaro. It made me throw up.
Yeah. So I told them I stopped taking it like 2 months ago, and they go, no, you really need to start taking that. Now, that's before they got my labs back, which we're waiting for those, and that will be, I don't know, next week when they get that back, so we can go over my labs. But in the meantime, they upped it from 5 to 7.2. And my doctor says, well, just take it at nighttime before you go to bed and you won't be affected as much. And I'm like, yeah, I will, because I wake up feeling nauseous, hungover. And it's just, when I do that, then my sugar shoots up to like 347 when I take all that stuff.
Oh, wow.
I don't even know why you're on.
The meds make your sugar shoot up?
Yes. Without it, I'm at 170.
Did you know that Mounjaro is a weight loss drug?
It's also for a diabetic.
Yeah, because they wanted me to take it to lose weight, but I couldn't eat the same foods. I threw up all the time, and I had to miss work, and I stopped taking it because I'd rather be fat than sick.
Yeah, it does. I mean, it just makes you feel bad. And my weight isn't, I'm not obese. And after taking it for a few months, I didn't really lose any weight or gain any weight. So I don't know. We're conflicted over here. I mean, I was even crying because I'm like, I don't want to take all that medicine. It makes my sugar go up. Then they give me more medicine to take my sugar down. It doesn't make any sense. But I need the health care for other reasons. And, they just.
I think that if you eat a healthy diet and maybe you do 10 units Atlantis a day, that would be enough. That would be enough. You don't need 35 units Atlantis.
I know. It's crazy. It is so crazy. 170 isn't that great either, but considering, the diet, and I don't move around all that much, so the sugar just kind of sticks in the liver and stuff. And so I don't want to go into all that, but it's really not that bad to have to take all that and have it elevated after that.
If I was Jesus, the first person I would go to is Suzette. I would raise you up. I've had that. I probably would have a hard time being married to you because it would bug me every day. Like, how can I, heal you or do something? You know what I mean? It's just so frustrating. It really, because you're the best person I know. I just can't imagine. I always say, why couldn't it be Bieber? That's, or Katy Perry or someone.
Don't blame Justin Bieber, for God's sakes.
Well, we ain't trying to turn it around.
Why couldn't it be?
After you've been diddied a few
Why
times,
couldn't it be Ted Cruz? Why couldn't it be Ted Cruz or Lindsey Graham?
We need to go with Kamala. I'll go with Kamala. or Obama.
Suzette, I found some old pictures of us, and the problem with I just want to say something personal on the air. When we met you that one December of 2021, the problem that you like 2 weeks later is when you had that fall in your bathroom. Like, I felt like it was God's will for us to meet you and to be a support system for you. And I'm hoping for a miracle too, a godly miracle. But if it doesn't happen, we'll still support you, of course. I mean, we don't know the future.
Well, just the fact that I feel good without the medications. I wake up every morning, that's my miracle. Because considering the situation that I'm in, I could be a lot worse. You could have like organs shutting down because things aren't getting circulated. But I feel good, and so that's my miracle.
And you do really well.
Like friends like you.
I can tell when you're doing good because, like, when you run that Sunday night show, you're on top of your game. Like, I can tell the weeks that you're doing pretty good.
Yeah. You have your ups and your downs, but so does everybody. Everybody's got issues, and mine's really no different than anybody else's, except for that my attitude. I could just sit here and just, poor me. Oh, I can't walk. No, but I can roll. My arms work. I have a wheelchair transportation.
And you know how to do crafts.
And I know how to do crafts, yes.
John, I think
you're... family and friends.
Amen, Jesus. John, I think you have selective hearing because I've told you many times Lauren sells windows door to door.
Well, I thought that was kind of like, he cleans windshield wipers at the gas station.
No, he walks.
He's really working the gig.
He's like Don. He walks house to house and he knocks on doors and tries to sell windows.
In the summer, oh my goodness.
Yeah, that's got to be rough.
It's like 105 degrees there today.
The thing about it with Suzette, she'd be like, if I was married to her, he'd be like, he's trying to get me to like exercise and do like bench presses, and then now he's giving me turmeric and black pepper, and he threw out all the food that we eat. I can't stand this guy. He thinks he's gonna heal me. He's a doctor. He's the herbal doctor.
He just won't leave me alone.
Leave me alone. I want to be sick rather than live in his healthy hellhole.
I want to eat cupcakes and ice cream and
John is Dr. Strangelove. John, I would make a terrible spouse to you because I would never obey.
Of course.
So I'm glad that
rebellious.
I would rather have you marry someone like Suzette.
There you go. There you go. Well, I have to say, she picked the perfect husband because he's just. I give him all the props. He is amazing.
He's my miracle. My other miracle. I get miracles every day.
He's not a musician. See, that's the thing. He'd be like, "Oh, I got to do a gig. I'll be back." You know, if you fall over, you know, just tell the dog to, you know, dial 911.
You're leaving town again.
I have a question. Suzette, is there anything we can do to help you get to your mom or sisters this summer?
No, not really. Nope. In fact, my two sisters, one in Florida and one in Texas. We're just waiting for me to be able to get control of
the travel
movements, and I'll just say it. So this way I can travel because each one of them wants to take us out there. Rob and I, they'll pay for the tickets and all that. And so I have invitations for both. But, yeah, I just have to be able to do that. Get some type of control. I have to take Imodium every day, and that part does suck. But, you know.
I wish I did take Imodium. I go with the flow, which isn't so great. I think I should rename this show the senior medical story or something like that.
Geriatric.
What happens when you get to a certain age?
They were all breaking down.
I know one thing that makes people go to the bathroom is I've been eating salsa a lot, SALSA, salsa, and that I go to the bathroom quite frequently when I eat that.
Oh, yeah, imagine so.
So try that maybe. So John, do you have any suggestions at your age?
The Imodium stops it from flowing, so I want to be constipating.
Well, you know, here's something, but I know it probably wouldn't work for you, but when I was living in the van, before then I used to make smoothies every day. And then when I started living in the van, I didn't have a good blender situation. And then I went to Florida, hung out with Slicko, and I started making smoothies. And it was like life-changing because before, you know, like bowel movements would be this like, you know, like shoving out rocks out of my butt. And then when a couple smoothies, it's like everything just boom, flies right out, easy, smooth, not a problem. I thought, oh, I forgot. So I got one of those portable kind of blender things, and ever since then, whether in the van or now living in an apartment, I always make a smoothie every day. And I have to say, there is a difference, you know, because it's all pretty much pre-digested, you know, being blended, and then it's more liquid, and it's really efficient for the body, you know. And you can throw some vegetable, you know, like spinach, along with blueberries, and mainly blueberries, strawberries, and I do also pineapple. I do like 4 or 5 chunks of pineapple every day, and I'll throw in some ginger. I'll take like a finger's worth of ginger, finger's worth of like garlic, throw that in there, and the taste, you know, I mix it to the point where you don't taste the garlic and not much of the ginger. It's mainly just kind of a blueberry thing. I'll throw in some chocolate, throw in some powder stuff like you know, parsley, cinnamon, oregano, like the powder stuff you get at the store. I'll mix in a couple of teaspoons of that. And some coconut milk, and boom, boom, boom. It's like that is like it's like a shake. It's delicious. It keeps the system going. I recommend that if you can, but that's a lot of work, you know. Olive oil.
Maybe Rob.
I always get some olive oil.
Maybe Rob could make that for Suzette. Maybe Rob could make that for Suzette.
That's a lot of stuff.
Experiment experiment. Like you can keep it simple. Like you don't have to have 50 different things. You can just make blueberries and coconut milk, and then throw in anything whatever. Just make it real simple. Experiment, see if it works. The other thing I always every day I have a couple pieces of turmeric. Like it looks like carrots, like a finger's worth. I'll have that with some chocolate, a dark chocolate, and then I'll I try to within 5 or 10 minutes take a spoonful of black pepper, and I'll just take say a quarter of it and swish around a big mouthful of grape juice and then swallow that down, like 4 or 5 different gulps to get the whole thing down. And that combination, it's very, make it tolerable is what I'm saying. You just figure out if something doesn't work, tone it down. If it's too much garlic, cut it in half. If it's black pepper, it's too spicy, cut it in half. Mix more grape juice or whatever works.
Yeah, sounds good.
Yeah. But having stuff frozen like that, it masks all it. Because otherwise, if you told me, eat 4 cloves of garlic or 2 cloves every day, I'd be like, are you kidding me? Like barf. Same with ginger raw by itself, no way, not gonna happen. But throw it in with the other stuff, it's like candy.
Yes.
Yes.
I like we buy the ginger from Trader Joe's. They're little candies, but it's ginger. And then they
nice.
It's good for energy. I use a lot of cinnamon and the turmeric there, but
it's very clean, very anti-inflammatory.
I heard coconut milk is good for you.
Yeah, it's got something CTs, OCTs, or whatever. It's supposed to be. It's great. Like more than almond milk because they say it has lectins in it. I don't think I'll die from it. I've done it for years, but I've switched over to coconut milk. I get sweetened. You can get unsweetened, but to me, I want to enjoy it. If I can't enjoy it, I'm not going to eat or drink it.
The coconut milk is good, and believe it or not, for dehydration too. So,
well, that's right. When you come off of a fast, that's just one of the things they tell you. You got to get electrolytes in you too.
Yes. And when I lived in Hawaii, and my son, he was just barely 1. There's like a swap meet at the stadium, the football stadium there. So we would walk through there. My husband and my son, my first son, anyway.
Is that where the University of Hawaii plays at?
That's cool that you got to live in Hawaii.
It's huge, and so it was hot that day, and so we're looking for something to drink. He drank his formula already, and so we got him a coconut, and he loved it. It was really weird. I didn't care for it straight out of the coconut.
Well, coconut ice cream is pretty hot, too.
Yeah, that's good. But it was just really cool because they had people that would just cut the coconuts right there, and then,
on the spot.
Put a straw in it because they were on ice, and boom, there you go. Fresh.
Complete meal.
Yep. I'll never forget that. He just looked up at us and like these, basically, that's pretty good. He wanted more. I was like, oh no, that's good for right now. I don't need anything flowing out the other end. But yeah, that's as fresh as you can get. Fresh. And did you know, I'm not a moron, but I actually thought pineapples grew on trees. So we moved out there. Well, it's a pineapple field. That's weird. No, that's how they grow.
Wow. I don't like ringing up pineapples at Walmart. The leaf part is too sharp. Like they always sting my.
The outer part,
Yeah, they sting my fingers.
So you know what I like to do is I'll take a pineapple, slice off all the edges of it. They say you can eat the bark, but I tried to experiment with it, and I just gave up on it. It's like forget it. But I will cut it up into little cubes, all of it. Like I'll slice it diagonally and break it down into cubes, and I put it in like a Ziploc thing. Throw it in the freezer, and every day I'll have 3 or 4. Sometimes if I'm really sore from performing or running around too much, I'll just have 3 or 4 pieces, and it's like candy. I mean, it's I could eat 50 of them. It's except of course after a while your mouth gets a little acidic, because it's kind of But when it's frozen, it surprisingly it goes down a lot easier. Like if I have 3 or 4 pieces unfrozen, after a while my lips are like oh, this is too acidic. But if it's frozen, I can keep eating them all on. I don't know what it is. I can eat like 50 of them.
There's a reason for that, and that I forget what it was exactly, but when it's exposed to air after you slice it open, it starts breaking down, and that acidics that we all taste and experience will continue to break down, but you're freezing it, so you're locking it in, and that's why you don't experience that as
I see.
more. Yeah.
Now, does it affect the bromelain in it, freezing it, or no?
No, you're just locking it all in.
I like the lock. That's great.
Yeah.
What is the bromelain?
Bromelain is the ingredient that the body is wanting and it needs, so you don't want that breaking down.
It's very anti-inflammatory. In fact, boxers and other athletes.
You're cutting out. You're cutting out a little.
Oh, I was gonna say fighters in the 50s and 60s, they would make them eat pineapple, and any athlete that has a lot of physically demanding for the anti-inflammatory features of it.
Mm-hmm. Hey, John, I just thought of something. You guys were asking me if there's anything you guys could do to help me get there. What would you think about house sitting? I mean, I would have to get you used to my dog, but we can't take him, and that was another concern as far as traveling goes. But I mean, we would just be going for a few days and stay here. You know how small it is, but I mean, yeah, we just set you up if you wouldn't mind for a couple of days.
My twin sister could.
We could work a deal. If your twin sister could do weekends and I do during the week, that might be something. Maybe I donate blood twice a week, but we could at least talk some parameters. At least it's good to talk, right?
Yeah. I mean, if you just house it, we'll only be gone. We won't be gone an entire week, but
so like 3 or 4 days.
Yeah,
we could work a deal. I think
it will be and then we'll come back.
Do you have my phone number?
I do.
Do you have my phone number?
I do. Remember, I sent you a text. Happy birthday.
You're right. Then let's talk some more. After the show. It's next year, right? So we have a few months to kind of plan some stuff.
Yeah.
By the way,
That's great.
my twin sister.
I mean, you got to get out more, Suzette. I mean, my goodness.
My twin sister is going to Oregon the 4th of July for the Steve Prefontaine Classic. So, when are you planning to travel, Suzette?
It'll probably be just after the first of the year.
Okay.
So.
She loves dogs, so maybe she could help if John couldn't.
Oh, that's right. The dogs, the dogs from hell that keep barking at. No, I'm kidding. They'll love me. I just have to keep some chicken or beef, and then we'll be buds for life.
Yeah. Well, that would be the purpose of house sitting, was to take care of it.
Yeah.
That's why I said,
I mean, there's no way that they would accidentally. There's no way they'd accidentally run away while you're gone.
I just have the one. But if Jane's sister likes dogs, maybe you would work something out with her too. So that would help.
She lives in San Pedro.
Oh gosh, she's not far at all.
Yeah.
In
Okay.
fact, email me your address.
I'll send John. I'll send you Suzette's phone number and address.
Okay.
Okie dokie.
So I was going to tell you guys something. Not only did the Obama Center open, but the New York Knicks won the basketball title, and Mom Donmy got a lot of good press and all his socialist programs.
Do you like Mom Donmy, Jane?
Yes, I do.
You do?
I heard Trump likes him.
Well, he likes the fact that he's charismatic, successful, and he's Mom Donmy does love New York. He just loves being a con. New York.
Well, I'm just saying that
basically.
You were saying earlier that all those programs are unrealistic, and he's trying to implement them. Free child care, and JFK Jr., Here's Don. Just a minute. Okay. Don, you're back on the air. JFK's grandson is trying to subsidize housing with extra benefits. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Are you talking about JFK or RFK?
I meant JFK's grandson, Jack Schlossberg.
Oh, okay.
He kind of looks like him too.
Yeah, so it's the new wave of Democrats. Mamdani, Jack Schlossberg, and the reprisal of Barack Obama.
Well, Jane loves socialism, right?
And
That's why you love him.
Barack Obama's daughter is now a filmmaker, and she won an award.
She shouldn't make any money doing it. She should donate all her money to the communist, movement.
Yep.
That would be the Jane Hoffman Foundation.
And Obama needs to sell his houses and live in low-cost government housing, right? Because no one is above the law, and we're all brothers. And so that's the problem with all these socialist people. All of them, they make double six figures. They have multiple houses. After a couple of years, they're all millionaires. So they don't live it. They talk all this stuff, but they get paid while they're not working on strike, in Congress.
Bernie Sanders and Elizabeth Warren should be president.
Oh, Lord.
Bernie.
President of Morongo or, a casino. Yeah.
Did you know that Trump said he wants to be president of another country?
They love him in many countries, especially Israel.
I want Bernie and Elizabeth Warren to be president.
What do you like most about their programs?
I think that Elizabeth Warren is always on the mark in her speeches, and Bernie's always fighting for justice.
Well, but here's the thing, because they're using the communist thing, and that is China, Russia, and Cuba. The rich, if we get rid of the rich and spread all their wealth, everyone's going to be successful and happy. The problem is the rich are smart. They know how to make business. Most people aren't. Most people are sheep. Most people need to work at Office Depot or Walmart or me, working at, construction or at 99er. But, people like Elon Musk or Bezos, they're leaders. If you take their wealth away, you're going to have just a bunch of, it's like saying, if we get rid of Kobe Bryant and Shaquille O'Neal and Michael Jordan, everyone's going to have the money. It's like, you can have a terribly talentless team. You have to let the best players shine. And America is where this all shines. It's American exceptionalism. You don't see that out of Russia or China or Cuba. They're all poor.
The reason I work at Walmart is because I want to be a servant like Jesus.
Oh, Lord.
Don, what do you have to say on your 71st birthday?
Well, my bro has one more year to go, half a year. I got 3 to go for that one.
Well, Don's back on the air. I thought he'd pitch in.
I'd like to see Bernie and Elizabeth Warren and all of the other politicians that were groomed from birth and then out of college began their political careers to actually go work a regular job. They talk about regular people. They pretend to be like regular people, but they will never be like regular people.
Well, Bernie Sanders ran a newspaper in Vermont, so he had a regular job.
Right. I know there's a lot of buildings across the country that have Bernie's name on it or AOC. Unlike Trump, who's never run a business, he never knows how to make money.
He's
he
not
worked at the newspaper. I think he actually, was a newspaper boy.
Trump's not very popular, John. I hate to say it. He's only in the 30th percentile.
Well, he doesn't have to be popular in order to do a good job, you know.
Oh,
It just happens.
Well, that's because, this is honest. 99% of the media is liberal. They support Democrats. You know that. They donate to it. Christian Walker, I could tell you already her routine is like, Mr. President, can you guarantee in 50 years there won't be any inflation? Mr. President, the Nazis invaded Israel back then. Was that a promise that was broken? I mean, she just goes on like everything is the worst possible thing. She frowns. She does all these faces. My brother and we watch her every night, and we freeze the camera, and like, oh look, she's doing the Thanos stare of death. And then the next person will be a Democrat. And she says, "Hi, how you doing? Oh, it's so good to talk to you." Really, I watch all this stuff, and everything is always Trump's looking for an off ramp. Oh, he started a war that nobody wants, and his numbers are slipping. Yeah. Years for him to go back to normal. It's dropped to $75 a barrel. Over here, price went down 30 cents today in a day, and they're still talking about it's the end of the world. It's like, oh, he lost a war in Iran. That's what the big thing.
California, though, John, it is the end of the world because of the governor who got rid of our refineries that are here because he wants to import, like 80-90% of the oil that we
import oil when we have more oil than anywhere in the world, and we're energy independent. This is a Democrat policy.
Yeah, the amount of taxes on the gas. So our gas will never really come down. I mean, in high school I paid 99 cents, and here we are, $5-6, and yet they are blaming Trump. Because of the State Department, is because of the war in Iran, and yet they will never mention the fact that we could be paying like $3 a gallon, like some of these other countries, in the Rust Belt,
or even states,
and we would be thrilled.
He just had Qatar promise $1 trillion in American investments. He's brought in over 18 trillion in foreign investments that are going to be coming in the next 1 to 5 years. They're going to be building stuff. He's a machine. Our economy, our domestic product is 20. Now it's 30 trillion. He's bringing in 18 trillion. He took out the Ayatollah. There's going to be such great things happening. And they're sitting there going, he lost the war. He lost the war?
Well, the thing is, John, is he should not have started that war. It was not after Israel pummeled Gaza for 2 years. Go ahead.
I'm glad he took him out.
Don's back on there. Let's have Don say something.
No, that's a very good point because Taco, he starts something and then he ends it and claims he ended something, and it's something that he started. It happens all the time.
Well, do they have a Navy? Do they have missile launchers? Do they have their Army? Are they able to attack us?
They never did have much as an army compared to us and Russia and other.
Well, then why did they block the Strait of Hormuz if they, that's what's being decapitated. Imagine if they had all full arsenal.
Well, the Strait of Hormuz is low-hanging fruit. That's something that they can do, but if we go in troops on the ground and stuff, they have the major advantage.
But can you imagine in 3 months, you guys weren't crying about Afghanistan or Syria or Lebanon. In 3 months, he wiped them out, and he lost 13 men. I mean, that is beyond. Forget politics. Don't be biased. Don't be biased. If I in 3 months can wipe out a country and lose 13 people, you would go, I'm a freaking genius. For 60 years, the Ayatollah has been a cancer. Go ahead.
For what? These are autonomous countries. They're not messing with us. Venezuela wasn't messing with us.
Oh, no,
if you lived in Israel, you would say different. One little bomb launch across the border, they can get to Israel in 6 seconds with jets. You know that, right?
Hanging up on them. didn't do anything to us, but yet somebody seemed to have the urge to take them out, and now it's their mess.
If Israel gets blown off the map, we don't care, right?
Yep.
I mean, you just want 20-some countries that are pro-Muslim that want to take over the world and have Armageddon and want nukes. And little Israel and us, we don't want to nuke the world because we have the capability, but we don't do it. And yet we want them defenseless. I mean, do you see that our priorities are so jacked up?
Yeah. I mean, when you have a country, one country telling the rest of the world how to live, as long as everybody's and the nuclear war or nukes keep people in check. It's like, are you really want to push that button? Really? I don't think so. But that's their only way to defend themselves as far as don't invade us because we'll do it. We'll push that button.
Well, no, but the thing is that when you start a holy war, which this is against one of the major religions in the world, and there is no winner or loser. Or what happens is that the religious theocrats, they will go through jihad. They'll die.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Well, here's a question, Don. That war started 1,400 years ago. You know that I have friends who were raised in Iran and got out. You know that they were taught death to America every morning. They still say that. So it never went away. It will never be till the end of the world. All you can do is control these bastards. You neuter them. Or you wipe them out. Well, we can't genocide because, that would be mean. I get that. So all you can do is strip them to nothing. Go ahead.
Those are weak-ass white people talking. If you're a strong
weak-ass white people? Have you been to the Middle East? Have you gone to Gaza Strip as a brother man?
All I know is that Gaza Strip is made of people who are of color.
How about this? Why don't you take your wife and go to Gaza and drink some alcohol like you do and talk about Jesus or anything Christian and also pick up a woman that's not your wife and put him in your car and drive around and have her head uncovered. Do you know what's going to happen to you, Don?
I know, but I get my dick.
But tell me what's going to happen to you. They're going to pull you out of the car. They're going to pull her out of the car, and they're going to beat the holy Jesus out of you, right?
And that's their religious right over there in their home.
Right, and so you're really good with those people having nuclear 60% enriched uranium. You're happy with that?
I think there's 60% enriched. That you need 80% in order to make a bomb. They're not even close. They don't.
Oh wow, 60 to 80. That's not even close. Okay. No, I sleep very happy knowing they have zero.
I sleep very happy knowing I'm a black man, and
Yeah, living in Gaza with your wife walking around without a burqa, you'd be running for your life.
No, I don't live in Gaza, though, man.
Gaza's coming to us, right? In New York City and also in little Somalia, Minnesota, right?
People of color are safe. That's why, that's why we're taking apartheid apart.
You're not safe. What about all the black people in Nigeria? You think they're safe? They got beheaded. What about Tanzania? What crack are you smoking, bro?
They got beheaded by their own people. This is not white people. This is their own.
By Muslims. They don't care about color of skin. They care about jihad.
Right, and that's fine. But that's what's happening with the white people. South Africans are coming over as refugees. They're getting reparations. And they're expecting us to protect them from the black people who are killing them, and it's going to, and the same thing's going to happen in the next 100 years here in America when the whites are going to be the minority. What do you expect these people to do? Some people got to die, and it's just
John. John, you're involved.
That's one of the differences. You're happy with the Muslim world, and I'm happy.
John, you're invoking fear tactics. There's a very small percentage of Americans that are Muslim. there's a very small percentage of Americans that are Muslims, and there was just a mosque shooting in There was San Diego shooting of mosque, and 3 people died in that shooting.
Oh, Jane, 54 other countries in the world said the same thing, and now they're Muslim run. You know that. Historically, Europe.
What? Quit being a chicken shit.
Tell me about the history of Islam.
Natural progression of things. You people are fucking going against God's natural way. He's already got this planned out. We already know black people will be kings of the world, and we just have to serve our penance. We have to wait while you people tear everything up, destroy everything, or domestic violence. You can't even have sex anymore. You don't know what your penis and your vaginas are.
Jesus. Okay.
See, that's why I love all colors. You're the racist here, Don. You're talking about color.
The Pope's gonna save the world.
Colors.
The Pope is gonna save the world.
What?
The Pope. He's gonna save the world.
So what are we talking about here?
We're talking about the Muslims aren't gonna save the world. The Pope is.
Well, it's black man. I don't give a fuck about Muslims. I don't give a fuck about Christians.
So it was 10 to 1 whites to blacks in America. So you're really going to overthrow the country? Is that how it's going to roll?
Yeah, because in 3 years, we're going to add 6 million black children. And in the same 3 years, whites are going to have a negative that's killing people.
Well, the kids are going to be running around with basketballs, hitting people, and then the Mexicans are going to be kicking soccer balls.
John, that's racist. John, you're racist.
They're breeding faster than black kids. You know that. Mexicans and Muslims.
No, they're not.
Black people have been made up roughly about 12% to 14% of the U.S. population
Since
for
the beginning.
over a century. And here we are,
Since the
2026.
1600s.
Yeah, here we are, 2026, and what? Still only about 13%.
We're not growing.
We're having our Mexican and Muslim brothers and Indian brothers joining us.
Oh, okay. So you guys can't do it on your own. You have to always have somebody to help you. But I thought you guys built this country.
But we do. We're the controllers. We're the leaders.
No, it's not happening because black men are going after white women, so it's getting watered down. You're losing your race, bro.
And that's it. That is the secret. I won't say ingredient. That's the secret of it all. Is it
So you're still relying on white people then to expand your population then? You just take it away from it.
Well, that too, but basically we're doing it for genetics. Because all these white people can't have babies because they're inbred. They're cousins and mothers with their sons and fathers with their daughters, and that's the purity of race. Royal.
Well, your plan is based upon cultural racism. That's being racist. That's not Jesus' plan. He didn't mention anything about skin colors at all.
Gentiles talking about whatever in the Bible.
He said go into the whole world and preach the gospel, everyone, the whole world. That's what he said.
But he still has to discern between who he is demographically bound to.
So is Jesus going to go to Israel and New Jerusalem, or is he going to go to Nairobi, Kenya?
He's going to be all over the world.
You guys, we've been on the air an hour and 18 minutes, and I want to end the show in 12 minutes.
All right.
Okay?
I'm going to go inside a house, and I think the phone connection drops when I get inside the building too much.
Okay, can we end the show tonight and let's talk about the World Cup next week, because that's bringing the world together.
Well, it's just starting, and America plays Australia tomorrow. So.
Hey, Don, how come Africa doesn't win the World Cup every year?
Because we're runners, man. We have the whole world running, so we win marathons, 10Ks, 3Ks. That's our ballot. And now we're coming into
should be dominating it. The superior rates, right?
We just tied.
Well, maybe they will win this year.
Well, yeah, we've been, the African nations have been doing very well in the World Cup so far.
Oh, wow. Well, I'll keep watching.
Very well so far. So, we've got Spain got tied, Portugal tied, and they're still in the running. So, yeah, this is all,
What's the number one food dish from Africa that people like? Hey, John, Viva la Mexico. It's Mexico. Yes.
There's a.
How many black food trucks are there in LA? Nothing. It's
I just read about Christian, somebody from Portugal. He's the best soccer player in the world, and he grew up in a shanty town, and his dad was an alcoholic, and he.
Even the best black basketball players from France, Wemby.
He's not the best anymore.
Oh yeah, he is.
No, he ain't.
If you look at the refereeing, the Knicks earned it, but they were fouling like crazy. In New York, they just let them, tackle people. Basically.
Are you talking about Cristiano Ronaldo and soccer?
Yes, him. He came from nothing, man, and he made it. No, he's Portuguese. He's Portuguese.
How about Messi?
Who? Okay, you guys are wearing my butt out. I want to go to bed.
Okay, we rocked your World Cup.
Me and Suzette are gonna take our moon Jaro.
Everybody's getting coming.
Who's screaming?
I have no idea.
My granddaughter's JCPOA.
Oh, there you go. Superior race, right?
Pope Leo the 14th will save the world.
Yes,
that's the scream of superiority, right?
Let your voice be heard. There you go.
Okay, I want Suzette to make the final statement. Could you do our conclusion?
Our conclusion for this evening, for the show, for everyone, I think that people are beautiful. I think things are going on in the world, but we don't need to get our panties in a wad. Things will work out. We've been here forever. I think we just need to trust in the Lord more, because we tend to wig out with things that don't matter. We debate, not us, but people debate things that they really can't do anything to change. And I think that
and you said to trust in the Lord, and as we found out, God is black. He's Morgan Freeman, and the leader of it all is Morpheus, which is it's